What's up, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Chromecast. My name's Joe, and I'm joined here today by Robbie.
What's up?
And Gabriel.
Hello.
Gabriel with his Andy Bear shirt on. We've got Andy Cam,
Andy Bear.
which we have a huge announcement for Andy Cam.
Yeah.
I mean, the Andy Cam has a huge upgrade.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, it messes with his headphones
A little.
a lot. Let's be honest, it's a lot.
I feel like
it's
a
a lot.
DJ.
So
There we go. There we go.
You can
What now?
So we'll have what's the mayor what?
Humdinger.
Mayor Humdinger.
Paw Patrol.
So
Look him
we'll-
up.
We'll do a side by
That's
side.
that
That's
guy.
what we're talking about.
We'll have a little side by side right here. You got to edit that in.
can
How
do
do you
that.
feel? I mean, how do you feel in that hat?
Fancy?
I definitely feel fancy.
Empowered.
Yeah.
I like empowered. I think you.
I like that. You
I mean,
know.
in the show, he's not actually the mayor. He just wants to be a mayor, or he's like the mayor of some
Yeah, I don't
dinky
know.
town or
Yeah.
something. But it's better than not being a mayor. I think.
Yeah, it could just be Humdinger.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Mr.
That's no good.
Humdinger.
Right, Mr. Humdinger.
Boring.
That doesn't
Sir
sound right.
Humdinger.
Yeah. So just call me Mayor Andy from now on.
Okay, he is the mayor of Froggy Bottom,
Oh, okay.
but he
I
is
mean,
the
you
number
know.
one. He is the main antagonist in Paw
Ah,
Patrol.
okay.
So,
Well,
yes.
there you go.
And
I mean-
scene.
I mean, we've talked about your sneaker collection, but I mean, the hat just really
It
sets
adds
it
to
off.
it.
You
It
should have
does.
wore your new kicks today.
Oh,
We
I
could have.
should
You could have
have.
been color coordinated.
Could have been new kick goofing.
Kill shot.
You could have been out here.
Is that what they
You
were?
could have
Kill shot?
been out here.
These are also kill shots.
There you
but
go.
no,
Also kill
these are not
shots.
my new ones.
No,
I'm learning.
the
I'm
new
learning
ones
all
we-
sorts of sneaker lingo.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I'm wearing mine. I guess
Yeah.
mine weren't in for the last show. So get a peek.
What are
Get a
these?
peek at these bad boys.
These are the Jumbo Swoosh Blazers.
Yeah.
Jumbo swoosh
Okay,
blazer.
so since
Kinda a little
I'm
bit of a
totally
vintage look.
out of the
Puffy
loop
lace.
on sneaker fashion
lace.
and everything, is Kill Shot the style? Is it the what
It's
is?
the model.
It's the
name.
Yeah,
model.
it's the model.
Okay,
but it's
Yeah.
from way back, right?
So they had some back in the 70s. These are the Kill Shot 2. And it's just a kind of a remake of those.
Yeah.
I want to know where the name came from.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't
It's an
know.
interesting name.
I'll look into it and let you
Is a superhero or a bad guy? Kill shot.
Kill
right?
Shot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what do they belong to. You
I
know?
just got in a weird phase. I don't know why. I had one pair
Sounds
of,
like a DC.
low low dunks or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just got out of Nikes for a really long time. This is my first pair of Nikes since literally 2012, 13.
Welcome back.
Dude, I'm in. I love it. I told you, I put these shoes on and they just fit. Like because I didn't know what size to get.
We're not sponsored by Nike.
No, we are not. I mean, if
just to
they
be
Can we
clear.
look into that, please?
if they want to, me and Steezy Dreezy over here would have all kind of fresh kicks.
We're like, you want me to wear those? No, I don't like that.
Can you? I would like to see Robbie in some.
Hey, what size shoe do you wear, Rob?
12.
Ooh.
The most
I got a
basic
12 and a
size.
half. It'll fit
bring
you.
them in.
Yes.
We'll do a
I'll
little
put 'em on,
behind.
I don't
We'll
care.
do a little behind
What
the
about you,
scenes of.
Gabe?
Here's the most important thing. Can I play golf in them? Are they too
Sure.
like weird?
They
or-
actually do have Jordan golf shoes.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at them, and I'm like,
Bro.
ooh, I just bought some Pumas though, like literally
The-
2 months ago.
The all black with the red sole and the
Yeah.
little cement back,
Oh, yeah.
the little cement thing they do.
And I was telling you, I was telling you, like, you gotta be careful with all black. Granted, those are like sneakers.
Yeah.
Mine look like golf shoes,
Yeah.
like athletic. I don't know. They don't look like old like saddle golf shoes,
Right.
but mine are like black and dark gray. So
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you gotta be careful with black shoes. I'm like,
And-
I bought black shoes.
and
What
I
am
wear-
talking
Yeah.
about?
I
I'm
mean,
gonna end up having to buy new shoes.
All of my golf pants and even most of my golf shorts are either gray or black. So
yeah.
I might be able to rock them. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to get a pair of one of those because they also have the other ones. They have a pair of Air Max that are golf.
Oh, yeah.
golf
Yeah.
Air Max, and they don't have as much. They're spikeless. Neither pair have spikes on them, but the Air Max don't look like they have as much grip. The Jordans are like have all this crazy stuff, and my golf swing has a lot of torque in it, so I need not torque.
Torquey. He is
Torquey.
Torquey.
He stands over
You
the
can get
ball
a-
and then just
yeah.
starts twerking.
You can get a
Like
get a
Joe.
B-roll shot of me swinging after
Bro,
this. We'll
stop it.
cut in.
Stop it. Stop
I was
it.
moving the mat every time I saw it. It was bad.
Not
But
from twerking.
not from twerking.
Torquing.
A little torquey.
Twerking.
So there you have it, Andy Cam with the
2.0.
upgraded outfit. It's, I mean, you look
Extra
good.
classy. Thank
You look good.
You do.
I hope you feel good because
Yeah.
you
I do.
look good.
I do.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to get a matching blazer.
Oh, I mean,
however.
it has to happen.
It will.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll find it.
we have to make this happen.
Yeah, it's almost Derby time.
Oh,
we're,
my
we're coming up.
gosh.
We'll find you something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll go to Kohl's. There'll be
Easily
100
find this.
ridiculous.
That, or we can go
Bro.
down to the costume shop down there.
There will
Oh,
be
yeah.
so many. If we go to the Derby, let's go to the Derby and film a behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I just want you to get the, like, whatever the Mayor Humdinger's voice is, and I just want you to be that character the entire time.
I'm
Like,
gonna
you
practice
cannot
this.
break from character the whole time. There
So,
will
you need
be
to
so
start
many.
training now.
Yeah,
I do.
there will be so many parents there that will enjoy that. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they'll be like, "What is this?"
And
It's
then we
Mayor
can
Humdinger.
reuse the suit when we reenact Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
there you go.
We'll just
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to get
yeah,
the
yeah.
orange one to go
Yes.
with
In the fluffies in the middle
Yeah,
for the
and
dumb
the
and
and
dumber.
the
and a cane.
and the cane.
it. Putting out the back.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, I love the new look, Andy. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic. So, let's talk about a little news from the week. We've got a little bit of news. We also just have some other random stuff we want to talk about. Let's start with some of the Samsung stuff because last week we talked about your you were getting the phone set up and everything. I think you had
Yep.
been using it for a couple days when we. How long had you been using it last week?
You
When did
got-
you go get it?
I want to say I got it like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, so it was you hadn't been using
super
it much,
fresh.
but you also went ahead and grabbed the watch, and
did.
you've been setting up the watch. He's
Watch is
new
on.
to like the full
For
legit
Wear OS.
smartwatch.
Yeah. I've got it set up. Oh, look, it's telling me to get up and stop
Yeah,
being lazy.
You like that, don't you?
Got time to get moving. So
Yeah.
sorry, guys, I got to go. Watch sets up.
No, that's
I'm all in.
That's 44, correct?
Yeah, so I got the 44
Which
millimeter.
I do.
I got the 44 too. I like
and,
it.
Oh, I thought you got the 40.
I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I like a little bit of a larger watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it came in like overnight, and because I've got a Samsung phone, the setup was like immediate. Joe had 100 problems with it, and I don't think it had anything to do with Pixel.
No,
But
There
it,
was,
that
I mean, it
there was something
could
on
have-
T-Mobile's
could
end.
have had some issue.
No,
but
because my wife and I both got them, and
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
setup
true.
was super easy. So,
Yeah, so I mean,
T-Mobile
but-
totally,
yeah, I think they
totally
just
messed
borked
up
it.
mine.
Yeah, and
So
I think I
bad.
have an idea what it was. Like, we ended up wanting to pay. You wanted to pay that $100 down.
And
Like, I did
whenever-
mine online, and they really there was no option for me to pay that off, and so he did that. He messed something
he
up.
clicked out, and I think whenever he went back in, I think what it boiled down to was the EID, which is like their eSIM that they have for these watches, was wrong. Because once he did it like 3 times. Remember, he was trying to scan it and it wouldn't scan, so he had
he
to
was
type it
scanning
in.
some other number.
He probably scanned something else because once he typed it in manually, it that's what ended up, I think, making
Yeah,
it
which,
work.
by the way,
Yeah.
whoever makes those and puts those on there, they had the same problem with my wife's watch. The back of the box has 4 barcodes on it, and they're
very
all
tiny.
in a block about this
They're like
big.
the size of a quarter. It's
And, and
tiny.
Luigi, my favorite T-Mobile customer representative at the store here, Luigi was trying to scan it, and he tried like 5 times, and it just kept scanning the wrong thing.
Does-
So he had to type in because it's longer than IMEI.
Yeah, so it's probably like
Does-
12, 16 digits.
Oh, it was crazy.
Does that
And
say
it's printed-
something?
It's printed this big.
Does that say something about us when we have favorite people at the phone store?
I don't have a favorite.
We have favorite employees at the phone store.
So maybe he's got
Do
the
we-
problem.
No,
He's got the
Luigi's
problem. I don't
just
have
my
the problem.
favorite because he told me about the thing that's going to save me some money, and he seemed to know more than any other person.
Yeah.
Than
Robbie and
most
I
people.
have gone to the T-Mobile store the day that a phone launches, and we're waiting for the doors to open
Yeah.
with Tesla guy who was sitting beside us.
Yeah.
And we literally were telling the girl behind the counter about the phone we
Yeah.
were getting. She's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got some training material on it, but we haven't watched it yet."
We were doing that a little bit.
You
with
know,
the
the phone's for
watch.
sale today, right?
If you go watch the
It's a-
behind the scenes.
It's a new thing, like today.
Yeah.
But is it an iPhone or a Samsung? Whatever. No one's going to buy it.
Oh,
That's-
and I mean,
that's how they think,
plug
honestly.
for Patreon. This week we put out a little behind the scenes of us going to get the watch whenever I picked up mine, and we decided to go on a day that was absolutely pouring down rain. That was the day we decided was best
was the day.
to film a behind the scenes.
It was
and
great.
It was really fun. Andy did a great job on it. So, yeah, you can go check that out.
Fun story.
Box. No, we can't do chromabox.com/Patreon because that's the login for our patrons to
Correct.
get ad free. Don't do that. Go to patreon.com/chromabox.
Yeah. Other way
I'm going to
around.
get it
You
eventually.
got it. No,
One
you
day.
got it. You got it.
Andy will just fix it on screen for me.
What's fun is I went to the same T-Mobile store, kind of under the same guys. It was a much nicer day, and went in to go get me a watch because I was like, they'll have the black one, no big deal.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? They didn't have it. So twice I've been to the T-Mobile store and left with nothing. So I came back and just ordered it.
Because remember, I thought whenever we were picking up mine, he was like, "Yeah, we only have black."
Yeah, they were like, all we have is one green. Like, I can't see the green because I was looking at it. He held it, and I was like,
yeah, because it's like forest.
Did we
green.
write an
Yeah.
article about that deal? Did we ever write an article about that?
We did.
About
no,
the watch?
maybe not.
Yeah, the watch
I wrote
deal.
about the.
I was going to say people read our article. I mean,
Yeah, that's
everyone
what it
here in
is.
E-Town follows our website
I'm
religiously.
pretty sure I bought the only.
Oh, yeah.
They say it's rose, but it's pink. I mean,
Yeah.
I bought the only one of those they had for my wife. So
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good deal. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
gosh, great deal.
probably, I'm sure while they're selling phones, they're probably like, oh, by the way,
Hey, you can
there's
get this
deal
watch.
going
yeah, I
on.
mean,
I'm
if
like,
you
wow.
want a wearable and you plan on having a wearable line for the next year or two, it's 100% worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even started. Like, I've gotten into some of the stuff, setting it up and getting around and starting to try to get, my stuff navigated and all that stuff. But, I was able to take my ECG yesterday and,
See, we
obviously
can't do that.
I
No.
know. God, I'm a
Well,
Samsung,
you can.
Samsung guy now.
You can. I found it's like officially, unofficially supported, like hacked version of an app.
This guy.
But no, it's in the Play Store. You can get it from
This
the Play
canary guy over
Store. And
here.
Samsung has like unofficially said, yes, this
okay.
works. It's okay because you can't use the EKG, you can't use the body mass sensor, any of that with the
no,
Pixel.
The body mass works. It does it all on the watch.
Maybe
I did
it's not
that
body
one.
mass.
Yeah.
Maybe, what's the other one?
There's one other thing that's
There's-
in the app, in the Samsung app
There's
that does. I don't
several
remember.
very cool features on this watch.
I'll have to look at it.
But like all that stuff's really cool. The setup was super duper easy, and the way that they've got it set to where you can, like, it knows if I've got the phone out, it knows not to alert, and I think it does that with most phones because that's mostly all just in their app. I've taken a couple phone calls on it already, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm starting to actually hit golf balls with it on my wrists. So I get used to having it on there so that I can take this out on the course and it'd be my GPS/phone/messaging. It does the fun thing too. I like that you can draw your characters to reply.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Like you just draw each
I like the
character
little
real
QWERTY.
fast.
I like the little QWERTY keyboard that it does.
It's
too.
like old flip phone.
Yeah.
It works pretty good too.
It's not bad.
I
like the drawing one though. I like that.
I do wish they had just a keyboard with swipe on it. I feel like that could work. It might be too small for that though. But yeah, drawing the characters works.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
How do you feel about the interface, like getting around the interface and clicking and all that?
I'm getting there. Just it's weird. Like in my head, like notifications, you swipe down. So I keep swiping down that menu.
Yeah.
And I haven't really gotten into using the tiles too much because I put the complications on the watch face that I'm using that have most of what I need.
Things you need.
Are you
on
using the
dial?
Yeah, the dial.
No, I swipe. I keep forgetting it's there.
Yeah.
But
it.
I like. Hopefully, YouTube Music is supposed to, according to 9 to 5 Google, it's supposed to let you stream music. I downloaded some stuff. I told it like smart downloads or whatever. You can do 200.
Yeah.
So download 200 of the things I listen to or whatever. But it's 16 gigs of storage. It's not like there's mountains of space on here. Like I'd rather not fill it up with a bunch of songs I may or may not listen to. I'm paying for LTE. I'd like to be able to stream it.
Right. Which would be dope.
And it's coming.
Yeah.
So
Is there a data cap on the wearable lines?
There is.
I didn't even
Probably.
look.
Yeah, there is. I can't remember what it. I remember whenever we were looking online.
I'm sure there
was
is.
Yeah.
something, but well, it's just interesting, because I came from, an older Wear OS watch that was just getting, like, it was usable. I was still using it for disc golf stuff, but wasn't really using it for much else because it had just gotten so slow and stuff and like wasn't really that usable. And so going to this one, I was like, oh my gosh, like the interface and everything was just, it was like very smooth. And I felt like the refresh on the screen was just like, I was getting like, just jankiness on my watch, because it was old.
Some of those older processors, the older watch processors, are just terrible.
Oh yeah.
But like you said the cool thing with this and with your buds, and you mentioned it a second ago, but when you set up the watch, did it just connect up? Did you have to?
So yeah, like I've got the Samsung Galaxy Buds as well, and they're just on there. Like if you go to Bluetooth, I just touch it, and I was playing music from my watch to it, just no setup. And again, I'm sure Andrew's over there like, no big deal.
He does have his. He brought over his. He brought.
Oh, he's got a working one.
Oh,
he's got to get suited up
I got
here.
a second one.
Okay.
I have another one that is broken, but I got this one going again.
Yeah.
So he's got
Felt left out.
He's got his watch on, so he's ready to go. Of course, it's an Apple Watch, and of course, it's doing stuff that Android Wear is just now coming around to. But for me, who's always been kind of a Google, Android, Chromebook guy, like stuff kind of works together sometimes, and sometimes it just doesn't. And so that's kind of why I wanted to try the Samsung thing out for a little bit, just to have a phone and some earbuds and a watch that just really play nice together, and it's been really nice.
Has that added to like you wanting to keep is the ecosystem enough of a value for you to keep the phone? And I feel like you're liking the phone, period. But
I do like it a lot.
If the phone wasn't perfect, is the ecosystem like pulling you in to where you feel like I might keep this just because of the ecosystem integration?
Probably not, because Samsung has figured out, I think, over the years, like their watch is mostly tied to that app, and the earbuds, they're in the same wearable app, like all the stuff for the earbuds is in there, and so you could install that app on a different phone and probably get most of the same perks. There's a few things you'd miss, so it's not nearly the tie-in, and I always push back against that kind of tie-in anyway, because I don't want to be locked in case something else comes out, and I'm like, I want that, but no, I can't have that because all my stuff won't work with it. So I usually never buy anything that I know for sure can't work with anything else. Like some of Samsung's older stuff was like that. Like if you didn't have the older Samsung watches, if you didn't have a Samsung phone, no dice.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I would never buy a Samsung phone in that watch. I never would have. That's why I never did. Mainly for that reason.
Yeah, seriously though, Google needs to go this direction though. Not lock their stuff down, but they need to make an app to integrate all their stuff. The new Pixel Watch comes out.
Yep.
These new Pixel Buds come out if and when they're coming out. They need to just have an app. I don't even know it should be the Pixel app.
Pixel wearables or whatever.
But you just open it up and all your stuff's just there, because they have the Pixel Buds app, which actually is pretty good for what it does. It's better than the Buds themselves, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a low bar.
They just
it's a very low bar.
They just need the Pixel app, and it's like you have a Pixel product. Cool. Open up the app, it sees it, and it's all just there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Google has the capability and I think the want to build what I'm enjoying with the Samsung stuff right now. And ultimately, I still would rather be using a Pixel phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to publish an article. I've got it done. I've just been sitting on it. That, in general with this phone, like usually I'll buy a phone for the features. Like there's something about it, like the ROG phone, the triggers on top, the super high refresh screen, the huge battery, the stereo speakers, all that stuff geared towards gaming. And so it's like, okay, I'll buy that in spite of the cameras. Like the cameras aren't going to be great,
right?
And I'm okay with that. I know what I'm getting into. I'm not a huge photographer anyway, so not a huge deal. It's a bummer, but not a huge deal. And the Samsung was kind of that way too. It's like I want this ecosystem. I want a pair of earbuds that I know work really well with the phone, so that when I do play games and stuff, like I know it's just going to work, and I'm not going to run into disconnections and all that kind of stuff all the time. And I want to watch that. I want my phone to take full advantage of this watch, because there was something I saw. It's the YouTube music thing where it can stream was only going to work on this watch at first.
Yeah.
And so that has nothing to do with the phones together, but anything that Samsung puts out, like it'd be cool, because it's like, cool, I get to take advantage of that and can kind of be in that ecosystem. But all those reasons have nothing to do with the camera. And so I honestly bought the Samsung thinking like they usually make pretty good cameras, but if it's not on par, no big deal. I'm buying it because of all this other stuff, and the camera will probably be okay. The camera's been spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've got pictures that'll go in this post that, I mean, there was a beautiful sunset the other day, and I had my wife stop the car and just pointed it out over this field. And I mean, it was like that real low sun, like you can't barely look into it. I couldn't barely see. And so I kind of turned and pointed and took a few pictures, and then we went on our way. Once I got to a spot where I could look down and see it, I was like, holy crap. Like I pointed that right at the sun. Like, I mean, directly at the sun. Yeah. And the photo I got was really great. And I've been really happy with all the photos and videos and stuff that I've gotten with this. And so the title for the article is like, I've switched from a Pixel to the Samsung Galaxy S22, and I honestly don't miss the camera. I don't. I don't think like I used to all the time, like, I left the Pixel. I got to deal with this crummy camera.
Pixel camera, yeah.
This camera's awesome. Is it going to take the exact same picture in every scenario that the Pixel's going to take? No, but in certain scenarios, I think it'll probably beat the Pixel, and others it'll lose to it, or whatever that means. to me, if I can point it at something and take a photo that roughly represents what I'm seeing and can convey that to somebody else, that's the point to me. If I see something beautiful or really cool looking, can the camera capture it?
Sure.
And if so, like, I don't care if this one's more saturated and yours is less, and mine's more punchy and yours is less, or whatever. Is the camera good? Can it take night photos? Is it going to reasonably replicate the scenario again? Then, okay, good. And it's been really good for that. And so, the thing that the UI and the camera are the things that always brought me like back to a Pixel, and Samsung's really cleaned up their UI like a lot.
Yeah.
It's really clean. There's a couple little apps that I'm like, go away. But really, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, I'm like, Google's got to look at that and go, okay, we can't just sit back and be like, oh, we have the nicest version of Android now. It's like, you don't at this point. Like, Samsung keeps updating their phones now. They're keeping them updated longer for longer periods of time. They're getting updates faster than Pixel phones are a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're losing some of that stuff. And the Pixel's camera isn't like it. I don't know, probably Pixel 3 and Pixel 4. It was just so far in front of everybody else, and it's
so good.
It's just not anymore. Everybody's caught up to that.
Right.
So it's like you got to find a new thing to make your phones great. And I don't know what that thing's going to be, but having an integrated ecosystem of products would help.
That would certainly help.
absolutely.
And so I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any like ecosystem lock-in.
Right.
But I'm probably going to stay put for a little while. I'm done swapping phones for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I've been loving the Pixel.
We'll see.
I just I guess I probably need to go ahead and put it back on Android, regular Android. But
you're getting a very
just-
borked
You're getting
version of.
real strange
so
version.
it's
of,
been weird. Like, it's been really buggy, so I've kind of just learned to live with it, because like the fingerprint sensor has been really bad. Not just like the bad that everybody else has been experiencing, but lots of other bugs. But then yesterday, and JoJo put this in her article today, I got an update, which I'm on Android 13, the developer preview, but apparently Google rolled out a, quarterly product, whatever.
I forget what it was called.
It was the 12L quarterly product update, something, whatever. Well, apparently it was forcing Android 13 devices to take that update. So
right.
it took the update, and then it rebooted, and it went to the bootloader screen. It said couldn't load Android, and then it gave me the option to boot from Android or factory reset. I tried to boot to Android 4 times and then realized this isn't going to work. I have no choice but to factory reset it. Thankfully, my OnePlus, I've only been on this for about 3 weeks, so my OnePlus is still relatively up to date. I didn't lose a ton of data, but my text messages, my last few days worth of WhatsApp messages and just the frustration of having to reset up a phone, because that's annoying.
So, it's not like a Chromebook.
No, it's not. So
it is the quarterly platform
There you go.
release.
there you go.
Is the name of it.
QPR, that's right. Yeah.
QPR.
And so, we can talk about that real quick. The whole idea behind that is, for Pixel owners, you can go ahead and get the next quarter's beta, basically, for the next big feature drop, and start testing it now if you want to be living that beta life. So it makes up a little bit probably for the fact that Pixels keep getting delayed updates, which is unfortunate. The update that's out right now,
Not
as a
what
matter
we
of
were
fact.
promised.
All the other Pixels have the update, and the Pixel 6 is later this month, and so it could end up being tomorrow.
Yeah, if they want to do
It
this,
still feels it's like a little bit of a slight for all these people that picked up a Pixel 6 for the
if they want to do
updates.
this developer stuff and things like that, they need to. Nexus needs to rise out of the ashes, and they need
There you
they
go.
need to have a separate, hey, this is our developer phone. You can buy it at T-Mobile, you can buy it wherever, but this is the phone you want if you want to do the developer stuff. Here's our flagship phone. It will get updates
For normal
before
people.
anyone else.
Yeah, and then actually do that.
Yeah.
And I get it. We probably should cut them some slack because Tensor and all that kind of stuff.
No.
It's going to take a little bit for them to kind of get to make sure they've got stuff figured out, and hopefully that means like Pixel 7, Tensor 2, or whatever it's going to be called. Hopefully they'll have a lot of this ironed out by then.
It's going to be Tensor Max.
But
Ultra.
Tensor Max
Ultra.
Max
Tensor.
Ultra Pro.
Tensor Studio.
Studio Max Ultra Pro.
The new Mac.
But
Mac
but
Studio.
ultimately, Google has to get that stuff figured out, because The Pixel 6 was supposed to be this like, we finally got it. Like we got here. We got a no compromise.
They got
Pixel.
close. Like,
and it's a good phone. It is. It's
really
a good phone. But it's just been plagued by this one thing after another. And what happens is like you erode the trust that the small subset of people that bought the phone had. And I don't know that you get them back for $7. Like people like me will just be like, I'll try it again. Why not? But a lot of people just. They don't want to fiddle with a phone that much. Like they're just going to be like, screw this. I'm going to go get a Samsung.
Especially those that have come to like, I've been a Samsung guy for the last 6 years. Well, I'm going to jump on board with the Pixel 6 because it looks like they finally got things right. Well,
and then here we go.
You've been living with Samsung for 6 years, which, other than their batteries catching fire, they don't really deal with a lot of, they don't deal with a lot of bugs. They don't deal with, and if they do have bugs, they get updated really quickly.
Yeah, because they see it on the scale that like an Apple does.
Or imagine like, being an iPhone user for 3 or 4 years and then be like, well, I'm going to go get Google's new phone. This is
Android's
not
full
what
I
signed up for.
And Android can be buggy because it's people do different stuff with it, and so that's why like right now probably the most stable version of Android you can get your hands on is what Samsung's doing, just because they've been doing it for so long. Like they've probably hired enough people that they have some quality checks in place that they can quickly take the latest version of Android, sprinkle the stuff they need on it, and get it through the carriers quickly. And the carriers want to get it updated too because they know they sell Samsung phones,
right?
And so for good reasons or bad, like Samsung's got it when it comes to Android right now.
I will say Android 11 on my OnePlus, because I still don't have Android 12 on it for some reason, has been incredible. Like this ever since the last couple of updates they've had, because I have one issue that I thought was my OnePlus, but I've realized it's doing it now here too. After my phone's been on for a few hours and I've checked my email a couple of times or whatever, and then I dismiss Gmail, I don't get email notifications until I open the Gmail app, and then I get a flood of email notifications.
And it does it on the Pixel too?
I thought it was my OnePlus. It's doing it on this too.
That is very strange.
The variable on this one is on Android 13, but it seems like it's an account level thing. It's really weird. So other than that, the OnePlus, Android on OnePlus is really good right now. Yeah. Really good. But they're not trying to do anything crazy either. So
and who knows what's going to happen with OnePlus now. They've got bought up by Oppo or whatever, and eventually they'll release the 10 over here at some point. Like they seem pretty disinterested in the U.S. market now. Yeah, probably for good reason from their perspective.
Yeah. So okay, let's take a quick break for an ad, and we will be right back. Today's episode of the Chromecast is brought to you by Visor for Chromebooks. Does your school district have a Chromebook one-to-one program? Are you struggling to manage your district's IT assets in a spreadsheet? If you're tasked with managing hundreds of Chromebooks or other IT assets like projectors and smartboards, you'll want to listen to this. Visor is a Chromebook and IT asset management solution designed specifically for school districts. Visor seamlessly integrates with the Google Admin Console and your student information system, including PowerSchool. With Visor, you can easily see which student has which Chromebook, manage repairs, and even automate disabling lost or stolen devices while notifying parents, all in one click. To find out more and to lock in up to 20% off, head over to visor.cloud/unboxed. That's VIZOR.cloud/unboxed, or just click the link in the show notes. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. So, while we're kind of on the watch and phone subject, let's talk about 6A and Pixel Watch. And is there some news?
Buds.
Oh, the Pixel Buds, too, have the same skin gesture.
Yeah.
Sounds weird.
Skin gestures.
So that's what it else you would call it, though.
Yeah. So
let me control my watch quick.
We'll start with the Pixel 6A. Like everybody knows, like renders have come out. Like we know
it's coming.
There's some talk about it possibly getting pushed back a little bit because of chip shortages, all that kind of stuff. So not for sure. I still think that they're at least going to talk about it or debut it at I/O, but instead of maybe shipping late May, it maybe ships in June or July. Sure. I don't know. I'm making things up. I'm not sure. But the new
Robbie
news,
said it. Robbie said it first on the Chromecast.
July.
Haven't they announced stuff or mentioned stuff at I/O and it launched like
later,
a little bit later?
Yeah, not a huge deal. but we'll see. I mean, you never know. Like a rumor could be like, I think we're going to be short, and then they'll be like, no, it worked out. So I mean, there's a bit of time here between now and May, and I mean, the thing's already in production for sure. But apparently the 6A showed up on Geekbench, and if you know Geekbench as a benchmark tool, it gives you a couple nifty little tidbits of info, and one of them is the fact that, as we all kind of figured and weren't completely sure of, it's going to be the Tensor SoC, which is not shocking. This is the same tactic that Apple uses. I mean, the new SE was released, and people are making fun of it on Twitter. I saw somebody tweet. They said, "Imagine it being 2022, and you go pay $400 for a 720p display that's 4.3 inches or whatever size it is." And it's like 60 hertz. Like,
hey, guess what? They're going to sell probably a
boatload
ton of them.
I get an iPhone for $400. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So the same idea is with
Andy, you need to switch to the SE.
the SE,
It's
man.
literally
Please.
hollow. I don't care.
Please do it.
It's an
Do it
Apple.
for a week.
It's an iPhone.
Just
But I
get
mean,
it.
it's the same reason that what was
Robbie
the
and just buy
4A?
a new phone
Yeah.
and then just return it in a week.
Absolutely.
go.
Bro, you hang around with us long enough, you're going to be
Okay.
buying and returning stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Google's. Which one was the big hit for them? 3A.
3A was
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, but I
People
mean,
like the 4A too.
you get a phone that gives you a lot of what you want, and it's that price that well. So
Yeah.
why not?
Here's the cool thing about the 6A, from what we can tell with the renders. Like, it looks a lot like the 6. I think 6.2. So it's going to
Yeah.
be smaller.
Yeah.
Just a little smaller than the regular Pixel 6, but still, I think a decent size for a phone. It's still going to have 2 cameras on the back. I would assume. I don't think anyone's uncovered what those are, but probably going to be the same sensors.
Probably.
Or they'll go back to like the Pixel 5 sensors or something,
Right.
which are still great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still Pixel's software, so
Yeah.
it'll work it out.
Pixel Magic still going to fix it.
And so now you've got Tensor in the inside, because the Geekbench scores are very similar to what you get from Pixel 6. So it's the same chip. I mean, it's not like they're going to make some new chip just for the 6A.
No.
And so now you get the same performance under the hood. I guarantee it'll be a 60 hertz screen. They're not going to put a 90 hertz screen in this thing. It probably won't be the best display you've ever seen, but I mean, they've been putting OLEDs in their cheaper phones anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like it'll still probably be an OLED screen, so it's not going to be
Except for that one that had the blue
nasty-
shift, they've never had bad displays.
yeah,
I mean,
and it's not going to be an iPhone SE LCD screen that looks like it's 4 inches under the glass. Like, it's going to be a decent screen with a hole punch and small bezels. Tensor inside, it goes down to 6 gigs of RAM instead of 8, and I think 128 gigs of storage. So, like, if you're looking at a Pixel 6 and thinking like, man, I kind of want that, I'm just not really sure. Now they're basically giving you a Pixel 6 with a few corners cut off of it for probably
I'm just-
$350 or $400.
yeah, I mean, if it's $350, come on.
I'm just glad they didn't throw some other chip in there. That would have been
Yeah.
It would
so
have been
dumb.
real bad. It would have been real bad. They would have done better to not release it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they were going to go put a Snapdragon in it,
Right.
like, would have been not good. And that's kind of what's held the A series back a little bit.
Yeah.
And people don't get too upset about it, but it's a lower end chip, and it's like, But you got Samsung with their FE. They cut all the other corners, but they try to keep a good chip in it. You got Apple with the SE. They cut all the corners and use dumpster parts.
Yeah.
But they put an A
they were
whatever.
like, hey, we got this phone body from
2014.
2012.
You think people will buy it?
Yep.
Does it have an Apple logo on the back of it? Uh-huh.
Yes.
Then yes. We'll tell them it's magic.
We've been dogging on Apple even more just because Andrew's
Oh,
here.
yeah, I get great kicks out of it. Truth be told, like, I get dogged on a lot. But like, you're an Apple lover. I'm like, clearly I'm not. But
Yeah.
I respect Apple for what they
Absolutely.
bring to the technology space. Like, I
100%.
do respect them, but I give them a hard time when they create things and call it magic, and it's like, those are leftovers.
I mean,
just say what it is,
Are
man.
they
It's
calling
leftover
it
pieces.
Are they calling it the Mac Mini Studio, or is it just Mac Studio?
Mac Studio.
It's just Mac Studio. That looks
Basically,
dope.
two
Sorry to
minis on top
derail,
of
but
A stacked Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a
Ooh,
stack.
they should have called it a Mac Stack.
Mac stack.
Mac Stack.
It's like 4 inches tall.
I know, it's a stack of Macs.
I mean, but it's got some good ports, and it's got up to 128 gigs of RAM.
Shocking that Apple's like, oh, ports are good.
Oh wait, we should bring back a SD card slot for professionals.
It's so brave.
Do you think people are going to use this for like video editing and stuff?
I
Should
think
we put things on there for them to do
Yeah,
that?
I mean, it does. It does
Maybe.
make
You
sense.
should probably get one just in case we do video tier.
We
I
bought
mean-
every other Mac they've made in the last 2 years.
We
Might as well buy one of those too.
we went through a few.
No, the Mac Mini was great.
but, yeah, the Mac Mini was
we were on
awesome.
the train
Yeah.
first generation. It was
I love
awesome.
the Mac Mini.
Stack 3 of them together and we got it.
Yeah, it's up to 20 core now, right?
Yeah,
Help me out here,
20
Andy.
core.
The M1 Ultra is 20 core.
Yeah.
All right. So we got M1,
Dude.
M1,
M1
Max,
Max.
no, Pro, M1 Max, M1
Ultra.
Ultra.
Is it 64 core GPU?
It is,
Yeah, 800
All the cores.
gigabytes per second.
Yeah.
Like
SSD.
no, the
Or-
transfer, the memory on it. That's
Oh.
the speed
Yeah.
of the memory. Yeah.
It's I mean, it's gonna
All
be
fast.
You could
it's
build
gonna
your
be
own server with it.
And it's
All
like,
fast.
and it's funny
Absolutely.
if you do max it out, max, stupid,
It's not max.
whatever.
It's not Max, man.
If you upgrade,
Ultra.
if you go through and do all of the upgrades, I think it ends up being $799
Yeah.
or $699.
No, 8,000. Yeah.
$8,000.
Oh,
And it's
I-
like-
you're
I was
like, no, it starts at 2,000.
Oh no, sorry, thousands.
Add
here.
another 9 on there.
Sorry,
6,999.
one more 9.
There you go.
Which is like that's a lot of money, but it is a replacement for the massive like the big tower
Which
that people
those
have.
maxed out could go to what,
Oh,
30K?
gosh. Yeah, those are insane.
I mean,
just
just
insane.
yeah, through the roof on those. But I don't know. I think it's interesting that they've put out so many chips in the last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
And
When's the Ultimate come out?
oh my gosh,
Ultimate.
I was gonna say they could go Pro, but they already have Pro.
no,
No,
already got
can't do
Pro.
Pro's only like second level.
Yeah,
The
it's
MacBook
If you
Pro
got a
Pro.
chump, if you got a M1 Pro, you're a chump.
yeah.
Chump.
I mean, I am ready to upgrade my late 2021 MacBook to the Studios.
Yeah,
You should.
My
You should
late
totally do that.
2021.
You should do it. You should do it. I mean, you need it. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
you
can
do.
expense it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You can
It's
write
just
it off
money.
on your taxes. That's the only.
There's your expense. We'll pay for a stick of RAM.
Yeah,
No.
there you go. Which on Apple is $200.
we can get it.
Ooh,
We can
upgrade?
get it from OWC. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
No, there's this magic RAM.
Yeah.
It's not.
No. Yeah, and the Macs are all soldered, so you can't do any upgrades. I don't know
Of
about the
course.
studio.
Yeah,
The studio, I'm
no.
assuming, is
the Mini is. You
non-upgrade.
can't do anything to the Mini. Which
So I'm assuming this one is non-upgrade.
No,
Agree.
probably not, because it's probably all on the board.
Because like I know,
These
like
new
obviously
chips,
the
they
big
like-
tower, you could fully customize. It was basically all
Yeah.
modular, but these are, these little minis are not that. I saw some video of a guy taking apart the Mini that we had and showing how much like room was in
yeah,
there.
I saw that. He said
They were like they could have made this like half the size.
Yep.
Like a small puck.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? That's Apple.
Maybe
There's
weird
probably
that
there's
Heat
probably some like
distribution, maybe.
yeah, maybe. But there's
Or
probably some Apple like
some
engineer
marketing thing.
designer thing that's like, but no, it's bigger is better.
If we make it that big, people will like it more.
yeah, they'll think that it's crazy. Just
So okay, anything else on the 6A?
So
I don't
no,
think
no,
so.
it's just
Yeah.
the fact that hey, now we know it's Tensor, 6
Right.
gigs of RAM. So I'm like, hey, I think it's going to be a really good phone.
Yeah.
Google has had great success in this space.
Mhm.
Like they've done really, really well in this space. So they just got to figure out now how to take what they're learning in that and apply it to flagship level phones.
For
And,
sure.
And I know like the price points on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro are good. They've got to figure out the software stuff. Like they got to figure out the updates. They got to figure out how to get these bugs squashed on their own stinking hardware. Like if other manufacturers are figuring it out, you guys got to figure this out. Small bugs, no big deal, but these are some pretty substantial things when your Wi-Fi is busted and you can't connect to mobile networks, and like those are pretty important phone things. Like can't really be having that stuff, and
Yeah.
it just makes it really hard to suggest to people now at this point. Like before, it was like, yeah, Pixel is going to be awesome because we've never had those kind of bugs with Pixels, and now all of a sudden you get your own chip and you finally get the hardware we've all been waiting for, and it's like sigh.
Yeah. Big sigh.
Yeah, and I know like Apple phones have bugs too,
Sure.
and people complain about them. I'm not saying you're not going to have bugs. You can't have the big ones.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So hopefully they'll get it sorted before the 6A comes out, and the 6A will not be riddled with such bugs.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
can be a good affordable device that
And
a lot of people buy, and I think the design aesthetic helps. Like
Yeah,
more
sure.
people just have that looking phone, whether
Sure.
it's a 6 or a 6 Pro or a 6A.
yeah.
You're seeing more people with Pixel, and that they just need that. They
Yeah.
need some good press.
Yeah, and so then there was some news that came out with the watch and the Pixel Buds about some of this. We were joking about it, but I guess they're going to be called skin gestures.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that we're already seeing a little bit of this with the Sony. I can't remember what they're called.
Ooh,
little donut-looking
earbuds.
With
the hole in them. I don't know. Somebody Google it.
But
it's new Sony earbuds.
Yeah, and they look like donuts.
Donut buds.
And the idea with them, their whole thing is like, it's a complete pass-through. Like there's nothing impeding your ability to hear.
Link Buds?
Link Buds? I don't know. That's it. Whatever those are called.
Sony Link Buds.
I would have never come up with that. Link Buds? I don't remember.
That I saw articles. I looked at some videos, and then just never
amazed at the photos of them. Like, oh, those are weird looking.
Yeah,
those look Link
and apparently,
Buds?
like people like them, and they sound really good. But like your gestures and stuff, because it kind of sits in your ear, isn't on the device itself. You actually touch and do stuff right at the kind of your jaw. And apparently that's just a thing. I guess your skin can conduct enough static electricity for something inside to.
So this
pick up on it.
This isn't solely.
No.
So this has to do with like low powered electrical transmission, correct?
Yeah. So I think it's same as a capacitive touch thing. It's just that you can get it through skin, I guess. It's weird, but if it's already working, if Sony's already rolled something out with doing this, like it's probably something that someone came up with and figured out and pitched to all these people and said, "Hey, use our tech and pay us a license." And there's been people messing with it and trying to get it to work for a little while, and now it's clearly working. Granted, like Google filed a patent for theirs. So it's probably going to be something a little different, or Sony just went ahead and ran with it, and they're like, well, if they get the patent awarded, we'll pay the licensing, whatever.
Sure.
But I think Google's is more, like, I don't know that Sony has, like, where you can move stuff. It's more just taps. Like, it can, and so they may just be using induction on theirs.
Right, yeah.
Whereas Google's is, like, the patent shows on both sides of the watch, and then in front of the ear, you can tap, you can slide up, down, or slide out. And so somehow it's conducting something that will talk to the earbud.
We're all going to look.
So the patent says
we're going to look so strange walking around.
The patent says mechanical wave, which this is defined as one example being a sound wave or vibration. So maybe it is some sort of like the inductive stuff or whatever. Maybe it's the sensor is sensing the vibration of your hand because it says the wave has to transfer through a medium. So the transfer coming from your finger through the skin to the sensor.
Ghosts are involved?
I think that's what it's saying.
That's how
I deciphered that.
Easy.
Yes.
So there's a ghost that's controlling my earbuds.
Every pair of earbuds comes with a ghost.
New episode of Ghost. There you go. Kismet. There we go. We figured it out. Ghost.
Done.
Pixel Buds, Pixel Watch.
Ghost.
Now with Ghost.
Thanks, Google.
Pixel Watch. Ghost Protocol.
I mean... It's interesting tech. I mean, that's
the same idea with the watch. So you would be able to like interact with your watch just doing this kind of thing.
Is it that
difficult to touch the watch?
What are you doing? I'm turning my face up.
Put too much lotion on. Crap! It's too smooth. Skin's too smooth.
Yeah,
this is just one of those things that
feels a little like solely. That's
is this gonna work? And what's the actual use case?
And also. Can you make sure the earbuds are just good first?
And then
we'll do like face touching?
Listen, I have a pair of very old Jaybirds. I think they were the X2s.
They were like the third Bluetooth earbud ever made.
I bought these literally. I'm not kidding. I bet you I bought them in 2016 maybe. And I wear them to the gym every now and then whenever I keep leaving my Pixel Buds here by accident. Because I don't like them.
It's subconscious. I was going to say, it's not accidental, man. That's subconscious.
But, my Jaybirds still, they sound great. And no joke, I can put my bag down, have my phone in there playing Bluetooth, which now I'll be able to do it like through my watch maybe, but go up and ride the bike. It's maybe 200, 300 feet away. And the Jaybirds stay connected whole time. No issue, no problem. And Pixel Buds, literally in the main little area that I work out, walking across the room, cutting out.
Yeah.
I was like, you said a football field.
Not true.
I can't even walk 20 yards.
Yeah, nobody's talking about that.
It's like they got it.
They set a football
They
field.
did.
One set, one time, a guy walked a football field. They're like, we did it. Write it down. It will do it.
Put it in the presentation.
Will it do it every time? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to try it
Maybe
again.
it only works at a football field. They didn't say up to a football field.
You know what it
they
does?
said a football field.
It uses the goalposts to transmit.
There you go.
And ghosts. There were ghosts the whole time.
This is the crap that drives me crazy, though. Like, I was so stoked on the Pixel
Google
Buds.
being a Google fan.
They were
with
so
hardware.
hyped. We went to the presentation in New York. We were all stoked.
Oh, remember
They
the
had all the-
ex-ambassador song?
Oh man, they had that. They had the couple musicians that did all the stuff
yeah.
about the acoustics, and they don't sound terrible, but they don't sound
They sound okay.
They
great.
don't blow away any
They're not
other
blowing me
headphones,
away,
no.
and they just don't stay connected in here.
And then they have
If
weird
I-
buzzing sounds.
If I
And
walk to the restroom from my desk,
Nope.
they cut out.
they don't.
These stay connected,
they
which
don't, they
I
don't
mean,
provide
these aren't
any
that old, but
noise cancellation.
no, no sir.
Yeah,
not
the
good
list is
ahead of ourselves.
long of things that they need to fix with the Pixel Buds, and
Now, you use the A's or the OGs?
Oh geez.
yeah, A's were just as bad, though, weren't they?
Oh,
when
yeah.
you were using
Yeah,
them? 'Cause it's mostly the same stuff. They just took out the touch
Yeah.
sensitivity stuff on them.
Which I do use. Like I like the touch stuff, so that's
Yeah.
why I always use my originals
Yeah,
instead
their
of the
their
A's.
touch controls were awesome.
Mhm.
And again, like, so you're going to substitute doing that with the Pixel Bud. Now I'm going to rub my face,
which
in order to
works.
get it.
Which works
Right,
great.
that's the
Like,
part that you got.
it all
right.
worked
right.
well, and now they're like, no. We're gonna do something totally
How
different,
about you rub your face instead?
and they're
Yeah?
still not gonna
Yeah?
stay
Then
connected.
they nerfed that on the Pixel, the
Yeah.
A's,
You
right?
just tap
It's like
on
that
Pixel
was
A.
that was the
That was the best thing. Like
one of the
swiping
best
for
features on the
tracks and
thing.
swiping up and down for volume. It's like, this is brilliant. Like
the
this
volume
is
I use
so
all the time.
so intuitive. But yeah, there's the one thing. Like that,
Yeah, let's
let's
scrap
unpack
that.
The one thing I think you actually got right with the Pixel Buds,
Yep.
and that's the one you're gonna try to move forward with something else on.
before you fix
and it
anything
seems,
else. Yeah.
Not only that, and it seems a little gimmicky. Like it seems like a feature that no one's asking for.
Solely
Yeah.
Pixel 4.
Like why? No one wants to swipe at their phone or touch their face.
no,
Why are you doing this? Are you trying to create something to separate you in the
Yes,
market?
100%.
Why not just make a really, really good product that just works?
Boring.
And that will sell.
Boring.
You know? I don't know.
Now, to
man.
be fair,
I don't
Cue
know.
the nasty emails from Google.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, people.
to be fair, they are hiring a lot of people for.
They
Yeah,
are,
you said
yes.
that. That's
they're
encouraging.
investing in patents. They're hiring talent for earbuds. There's job listings and stuff. So, it appears that they want to
Right.
make this better. And we also, I think we have to step back sometimes and remember, Google's still really new at
This is-
hardware
They are not.
in the
they-
grand scheme of
They
things.
were a
Yeah.
software company for a very, very long time.
It's a bunch of
yeah.
engineers, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're concerned with advertising and software based things. And now they're trying to make hardware,
Yeah.
and making hardware is just very difficult.
Yeah,
But
to
now
do.
they have Dieter, so that's all going to change.
I know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Dieter will fix it.
He will.
Dieter fix it.
Yeah.
Dieter fix
Go.
it.
Hey,
Go-
Dieter.
Pixel
Hey,
fix it?
Dieter.
Dieter fix it.
Pixel fix it and Dieter fix it.
Dieter fix it. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
do agree. It's probably
Yeah.
going to be gimmicky. Maybe
Or maybe
it'll be in
awesome. I
addition
don't know.
to
Yeah, the
an
regular
additional
controls,
way.
yes.
And maybe they've done some research and for accessibility. Maybe
Yeah.
if people find the earbuds,
Right.
it's difficult and certain
Or
people
it's like
it would help.
moving, it's shifting the buds for people, and so maybe
Yeah.
having it not have to actual touch
mean,
the physical bud.
To think about, like, I'm thinking about it right now, like if it worked 100% of the time, like not kind of works sometimes and does different stuff sometimes and picks up on the wrong signal, but if it actually worked 100% of the time and I could just move the volume down like this,
Could be cool.
could be really
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Could be cool.
amazing.
But what happens is there's been so many of these things with Google that you're just like, all right, how's it going to be dumb?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go like this and it's going to stop. And
Yeah.
I'm going to touch and it's going to turn my volume up. And
Yeah.
it's like,
I just called somebody.
yeah, I didn't mean to do
And then I
that.
just hung up on them.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just trying to turn it up and it hung up. Like, I could see a little bit of
Yeah.
that happening.
Yeah.
And
We'll
that's,
see.
unfortunately, that's being cynical. And I don't want to be cynical, but
but
you
it's
know,
being realistic.
right. After
Yeah.
enough times of getting just hyped over something that's an idea, it's like, okay.
Yeah, we hope for the best, but we plan for not the worst. We just plan for Google.
We hope for the worst.
Yeah, we
or
plan for Google.
hope for the best, plan for the
and
Google.
hope for yeah, there you go. and then hoping
Wow.
hoping the Dieter fix it.
Yeah. So speaking of other things that didn't work, I'm gonna do it. Let's go there. We got some time. Let's give a little preview of a video that we filmed yesterday. I still think it's going to be a very useful video for people, but we were trying to test out. We were trying to fully install Chrome OS Flex on a 2010, right? 2010.
Is it
Yeah,
2010?
it's a
I think I
10.
said in the video it was 2012, but
It's a
whatever.
10.
Whatever.
Doesn't
Old
matter.
MacBook, not on the official supported list.
Yeah.
So let's be clear about that. But it was running well in the test off of the USB stick, which
Funny
is
enough, like in the video we did last time when we were trying to show, hey, here's how
Yeah.
you install it and then put it
Yeah.
in here and run it.
Yeah.
It was really behaving poorly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's got to be the USB port. But I think Andrew might have pointed out, like, we didn't have it plugged in, I don't think.
Could have been
And so the battery on it's really bad. And so it may have noticed, hey, you're losing battery crazy. Ramp
throttling
things
it.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
But
Highly
that could be in the
possible.
BIOS. I doubt Chrome OS is doing that. But
Yeah.
it was running poorly. And I was like, cool, I'm going to show it running poorly before we install it. And it was running like
Smooth.
butter. But it was plugged in.
Yeah.
So
Could
I
have
don't
been
know.
the issue.
Could have been that.
But yeah, so we go through the whole idea with this video, and we filmed it behind the scenes of this, which I'm happy we did, because you get, this is a real, like, this was true behind the scenes. Like, this is us trying to do something and it not going well. And
didn't
trying
work.
To, like,
It just didn't.
Yeah, just trying to figure it
Didn't work.
out. But we wanted to capture what would happen. Like, it was live. You have one chance. Like, we're gonna do
Right.
this and click it, and we got to film it and see what happens.
Yeah, because the other
And
OS
it-
is gone.
Yeah, and it just
Didn't-
it just didn't
didn't
work.
happen.
It got real hung up and wouldn't even get to any form of Chrome OS that we could use.
No, and it was super weird because like we did the whole thing. It says it's success, and
Mm-hmm.
when after it reboots, take the USB stick out and,
like
and turn it on, and we did that, and you heard the Mac OS sound like the boom, and I immediately knew like
Uh-oh.
that's probably not good. But then I'm like, if
You've
that's
created some sort of Frankenstein OS.
that could be part of the BIOS. It's okay. Like you're gonna boot this particular device up, it's gonna make
It
that
might
sound.
be because Chromebox, the beep from a Chromebox is the BIOS.
That's true.
It's possible.
So they could have programmed that in, but then it just wouldn't do anything. It'd sit there on a gray screen, and then a folder would come up with a question mark on it. Like,
Now
what do
that's
you-
a Mac.
It was
what
like
you want
some-
me to do?
It was like some Riddler stuff. I
Yeah.
thought if we put in a special key, it would.
What's inside?
So we turned it off and then opened the BIOS up. I was like, well, maybe it has a different, maybe it, I don't know, partitioned itself or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see if we can
Still
boot it from
just
something
one
different.
drive.
Yeah.
But then when I clicked on the drive, it actually booted and had the Chrome OS splash screen for a while.
Yeah.
And then when it finally went and transitioned to something else, the taskbar was down there for a second, and then it went to black screen. And so we waited and tried that, I think 3 more times. Same thing each time. So we boot back up with the USB stick again. Luckily, with the USB in, it works just fine. You're just limited to like 3.7 gigs of storage, which, I mean, honestly, if you just needed to use it for a Chromebook pretty quickly, that would be fine.
All right, because the size of your USB stick doesn't matter, does it?
No, because it's
the-
128 gig. I was like, this is going to
it's
be
the
great.
8 gig total. That
Yeah.
That's stupid.
And again,
They
the whole
just all
point
they
of
have
that
to do
is
is let us parse
It's just for a test.
yeah, but the point is that you
I tested it and it
with
worked
the USB stick,
perfectly.
right?
And it
that-
still does. Like we plug the USB stick in, tell it to boot
and-
from that.
Yeah.
All good.
And it's like, and I mean, we talked about this a lot yesterday, trying to figure out kind of, all right, well, what is the narrative now?
Yeah,
Like,
now what do we
What do
say?
we say here? Because I mean, at the end of the day, we are always trying to put out informative stuff. Like, we could have just made this a silly video and hey, it didn't work. But it's like, all right, well, but what's the actual point? Like, what are we trying to get across here
Right.
now that this isn't working? And kind of ended up just coming down to like, all right, well, kind of buyer beware. Like, if
Yeah.
even if it's working well on your USB stick, it might not work. And if
Yeah,
you,
if you're
and if
not
you wipe
commi-
your
yeah,
OS,
if you're not committed to
yeah,
wiping your device and you don't know, because some devices you can recover a device from the BIOS, but you're talking
Yeah.
about some really technical stuff. If you're not committed to saying, I'm perfectly willing to take this outside and put it in the trash can right now,
yeah,
then you
I wouldn't do
probably
it
shouldn't do it.
if it's not
Yeah.
on the supported list, and
Yeah.
even if
Right.
it is.
yeah.
There's
This is-
always
Even
a
if it
chance.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you're
it's
talking
beta
about
still.
rewrite. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're rewriting the operating system here. So, be careful,
Yeah.
if you're going to do this. And we didn't want to like beat up Chrome OS Flex because I still, believe in what they're doing. and believe it's going to be great for a lot of people. I don't want people to go and think like, well, I kind of maybe would come back to this Mac, but I think Chrome OS might be a little better than running Mac OS on this or Windows on this, and then go and overwrite it. Now you got neither.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah, a lot of it. And
Yeah.
For right now, I do think if it's not on the supported list, and God, even if it is, like,
Be careful. Yeah.
be sure that this is a device that you're okay, saying bye to,
Right.
Because there's a good chance it's gone. Because we booted it up from the USB and we redid the process again just to make sure. I was like, well, what if something just wrote wrong?
Well, and we recorded it too. We were like, all right, hey, we tried it. It didn't work. We're going to try it
We're
again.
just gonna do it again.
Yeah, well, let's just try it again. And it did
Same
basically
exact
the
process.
same thing.
I mean, exact same
And
thing.
it-
So my hope is that we'll get an updated image because
Yeah.
they're going to keep updating the image
Right.
for Chrome OS Flex, and we'll be able to flash it again at some other point, and it'll work.
Yeah.
So that's never out of the question either. It's not like Chrome OS Flex is what it is, and it'll never change.
Right.
Like it's going to change just as quick as Chrome OS does.
Weren't
so.
we were getting at least, I can't remember. We did it so many different times. I can't remember. We were getting the Chrome logo for a moment, and
So
then
the
it was
first
going to the
boot,
black screen.
The Chrome logo would animate
It was
in
all
like
jacked, yeah.
2 frames a second or something.
Yeah.
And then it would sit there for a while, and then you'd get the taskbar thing at the bottom, and then it'd go black.
Yeah.
Then booting it up again, you would get the Chrome logo to immediately animate in, make you feel like something was going to happen,
Right.
and then just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, we would get excited, and then
it was like it was trying. That's the weird thing is that.
Yeah.
But we could only do that if we went to the BIOS and then
That's-
told it to
that's-
boot from its internal disk, which I'm like,
right. Shouldn't have to do
what
that.
else were you booting from?
What other options do you got, buddy?
But my guess is somewhere in the BIOS, because Apple's BIOS is not as simplistic as what you see on like a Windows PC. Like you get into like, looks like DOS, in most Windows. Like on that MSI, it's like, looks like you're in a terminal, and their BIOS on at least on that Mac, it has a user interface. It's a graphical user interface with mouse control, and I can get on the Wi-Fi, stuff from that interface, and so it's far more advanced than what most Windows devices have. So,
Did we try booting up with Wi-Fi on?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, I thought we did.
Yeah, and I thought, well, maybe that's like that would be a weird thing to have to do, but maybe I don't know. But that didn't work either. And
No go.
my guess is somewhere in that BIOS, there's just a disconnect. Like it's telling it to look for a particular some sort of file to tell it to go where to boot from, and it can't find that. And so that's the breaking point. And so I don't know on the supported MacBooks if the BIOSes are different.
Right.
There's a good chance that the BIOS has been updated, obviously, over the years. There's a good chance it operates in a different way. There's a good chance that Chrome OS Flex has the right stuff in there to talk to the BIOS for those particular BIOSes, but not this one.
But I think
I don't know.
I think the point is, and I think you did a good job of your wrap up once we kind of figured out, hey, this isn't going to work. Like, just because it's working on the USB stick and you feel like, oh, cool, this is the test, right? This is what this is supposed to be. This is the test. I'm going to go ahead and install it. There's something different. Like, obviously, you're overwriting the actual hard drive, so it's a different type of process. Like, you're not just basically when you plug in the USB stick, it's just, hey, okay, cool.
Yeah, because
Boot
it
from over here
could be
instead.
something as
It's
simple
different.
as the hard drive isn't getting formatted
Formatted
because it
correctly. Right,
reformats the USB stick and it reformats the hard drive. USB sticks will format to whatever you want to make them, FAT32, whatever.
Yep.
It may just not be capable
That-
of reformatting
That
the
could
Mac.
be it.
Then we need to crack it open and put a different hard drive in it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
By we, I mean you.
I had a
By
better
we, we
idea.
mean Gabe.
I had a better idea. I'll
Okay.
create a new Linux Mint image on a USB stick. We'll boot to that, and then because you can install it the same way, we'll install Linux Mint on it, and then we'll try to,
Wow.
come back full circle
Wow.
and install Chrome
So
OS
will it-
Flex on.
Question is, will it replace the BIOS?
I don't know.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the BIOS,
don't
I
know.
feel like the BIOS is
Let's
the problem.
just
I
see.
could be wrong, but
Let's just see.
Andrew offered up what year?
2017.
2017,
Yeah.
2017 Mac for us to try. It's like if you don't want it anymore,
Dude,
I also have
we're going to
another-
remove Mac OS.
Yeah.
I have another 2012 if we want to try that.
Yeah. Is the 2017 supported? Is it on
I
the
don't know.
supported list?
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be interesting to check
There's
that.
there's a few of the.
Is
the
there
newer
a way?
ones.
Like, I'm pretty sure you can you can do a recovery on a USB stick for Mac OS,
Yes.
correct? So we could. I bet you there's a way
Technically,
to get back to
theoretically,
Mac
yeah.
OS.
Probably, but again, like for all the effort, we're not going to use
Right.
that Mac.
Right.
Because it's still going to be like I don't even know what that thing was on.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Many
Maverick
many
or
iterations.
El
old.
Capitan or
It was
something.
back when they were named after cats, probably.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about
Lion
that.
and tigers. Oh my.
Snow leopard.
Snow leopard.
Snow
I
leopard. That's
remember
probably
snow
what that's
leopard.
got on it.
I
Snow
remember
leopard.
snow leopard. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for today. Shout out to John Sowash, who stopped by the office.
Yeah.
Check out our Instagram. I posted some story stuff that'll probably be gone by the time you see this, but I'm going to get an actual photo out there on the Instagram or
Yeah, so
Twitter
he's
or
a
whatever.
we call it KISTE, but it's Kentucky's Education Technology and Education Conference that they have here every year. It's just a state version of like BETT and all that stuff. He usually goes to FETC in Florida every year, but
You're saying a lot of weird words.
yeah, Florida Education Technology, whatever. It's school technology.
thing.
Yeah, it's annual school technology conferences.
FETC,
He was invited to
Penske.
speak at a few sessions, but if you're ever interested in meeting John Sowash, just go to his website and check him out and see where he's going to be because he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his URL?
The Electric Educator was like his blog, but I think it's johnsowash.com, I believe.
If only we had a way of knowing.
And it's spelled just like it sounds.
Is it John?
SOWAS.
Just
C-H-N
a-
or J-O-N?
Just a great guy, great colleague of ours.
Okay, so it's not John Sowash.
He's
It's Sowash Ventures. Try
Try
Sowash.
like CHRM.
Oh, he has Chrome.
BOOK.com
Yeah.
or something. Yep.
Well,
CHRM book. Churn
How
book.
do you get away with that? Same way we got away with Chrome Unboxed, I guess.
I mean, we have Churn Shop, so. But yeah, he has another site that's Sowash Ventures where you can connect with him because he does on-site education for teachers and
SoWashVentures.com.
Yeah,
there you go.
So yeah, if you're ever interested in connecting with him, he's got a lot of great resources on his site. He gave us these cool stickers that have keyboard shortcuts on them, which are awesome.
Yeah.
But
just a great guy, and
he's stopped
doing
by
some
here.
cool work.
Yeah, stopped by here a couple times, and we always love having him. So
yeah, he was on the podcast way back. We were up in the front office.
Yep.
I
think it was
first
the same- moved in there,
yeah,
too.
We
probably
should
the
find
same
that.
thing, honestly, he was probably at.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
conference somewhere. 'cause
Probably
he-
a couple years ago.
We should
Okay.
find that. We'll find that and link it. He's a fun guy. So yeah, shout out to John if you're interested in some of the EDU space stuff. We're trying to get him. He's contributed some articles to the site, but
He's a busy guy.
We were like,
We're working him.
we're working him a little
Soften him
bit
up a
today.
little
Come
bit,
on, come on, John. You know you want to post some stuff on
Hey,
Chrome
he
Unboxed.
saw the golf simulator.
Oh, he got it.
Now he's like,
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I
in.
need to be in on this a
Uh-huh.
little bit more.
Yeah.
I need to come
That's right.
hit golf balls every once in
See,
a
it's
while.
a-
When I'm
it's a-
passing through.
He
It's a
came in
recruiting
here and
tool.
hit
Yeah.
one of these old persimmon woods, and he gave it.
He's got a nice little swing on him.
Yeah,
He said he was a hack. I'm like, he ain't a hack.
Oh, he's not. He can hit. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
He's a baller.
he's a baller. John Sowash
I gotta
baller.
say, baller.
Baller.
He's a baller.
baller.
So yeah, all right, there we go, folks. We appreciate you all tuning in and listening, and we will catch you all next week. See ya.